Hi, I'm Miss Lonnie. I'm a teaching artist with PS Arts, and I teach TK through second grade visual and music arts in Santa Monica, California. Come along with me now, we're going to do some tabletop art. Today we're going to talk about a very sweet artist named Wayne Thiebaud. Wayne Thiebaud was born November 15th, 1920 in Mesa, Arizona, which makes him almost 100 years old. When he was about 6 months old, his family relocated to Long Beach, California, so he's now considered a Californian artist. One fun fact about Wayne Thiebaud is that he designed the license plate for California with the sunset and the palm trees on it. So we're going to look at some art of Wayne Thiebaud's, and remember, whenever you're looking at art, look for these 5 elements and they'll make you a much better artist. Lines, shapes, color, texture, and space. You enjoyed the art of Wayne Thiebaud. So now what we're going to do today is we're going to use colored markers to draw a gumball machine, and the second half of our lesson today will be a shading exercise. I have my drawing paper on top of a placemat to protect my surface, and now I'm going to start drawing my gumball machine. I'm going to use a dark colored marker to start for the outline. Now I'm going to kind of look at my paper in 2 halves. I'm going to think of the top being where the circle is of the gumball machine and the bottom being the cylinder type shape. So just start with a nice big circle at the top. Then I'm going to put a rectangle around that, kind of behind it like that. Kind of like the top sits right in there. Then I'm going to pick up in the middle here of this rectangle shape and go out and make an oval shape that will connect to the other side. It's kind of a thin oval shape. Then on the sides of both the oval, I put a square. And the last thing I want to do for this machine base is to put a rectangle. And again, I like to go behind sometimes the last shape. That kind of gives it that 3-dimensional look. Now the next thing you want to put in is a tunnel for where the gumballs come out, and a coin slot for buying the gumballs. I'm going to go ahead and darken in the tunnel as well. You could put a gumball coming out of there if you wanted. Now the gumball machine should be on a table or a counter, so you're going to put a line to show where the table is. You wouldn't want that line to be at the bottom of the machine because it would look like your machine was about to tip over or like it was walking on a tightrope. So really make sure the base is on the table. So go behind it, maybe about here. Invisible line behind the gumball machine, and then your table picks up over here and goes off. All right, let's talk about the gumballs. In Wayne Thiebaud's 3 machines, you might have noticed he really fills it up with lots of colorful gumballs. And that's fine if you want to fill up your gumball machine but just remember that you're going to have to color each one of them in or put a design on each one of them. So you might want to start by going halfway up and then finish as you go. And don't make your gumballs too small because you want to be able to get lots of nice color and designs inside. To make them look like they overlap, just every time you have a line, wherever you hit a line, stop, and then you can pick it up over on this side, and then they kind of just look like they're going behind each other. So again, you take your line, you stop wherever you see another one. Sometimes you might pick it back up. Stop, pick it back up over there. I'll show you that one more time here. Stop, and maybe you see one back here. Okay, so that's enough to start with. Now I'm going to start coloring in, so you might do some solid colors. So I'll make this one solid black. I left a little spot of white at the top for a little light reflection look. You might also do a striped pattern on one. Changing colors often. And since you are coloring a circle inside, if you color around, it really helps stay in the lines. Again, I'm going to leave a little white spot at the top for a little shine, a little light reflection. You keep going until your gumballs are all filled up, but I want to show you one more trick about coloring with markers that kind of will give you some extra texture. If you put some lines really close together, and I would keep going all the way across, and then you color on top of those lines. And remember, stay in one shape at a time when you're coloring to give it that nice, crisp, smooth look. Here is a finished picture of a Wayne Thiebaud inspired gumball machine. Please remember to sign your name in any artist corner and send pictures of your drawings to craftbag@yahoo.com so that I can feature them in an upcoming lesson. I hope you enjoyed making Wayne Thiebaud gumball machines, and I hope you'll stay tuned for our shading lesson. Wayne Thiebaud loves to use shadows and light, so we're going to practice shading. As with our Ellie Halpin lesson, when we talked about the shading grade, we're going to go over that one more time. So in your first box, you're just going to leave it completely light, nothing in it. That's the lightest shade you can get. Then in the second box, we're going to do horizontal lines, just with a light pressure. Then in the next box, horizontal, and then vertical, keeping the same amount of pressure, automatically getting darker. The next box, horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. And then the last box, horizontal, vertical, diagonal one direction, and then diagonal another direction. And as you can see, you're just going to get a darker and darker shade. So now I'm going to use a fresh piece of drawing paper and a number 2 pencil as a model for this shading lesson. So now you take your drawing pencil and you're going to look closely at this pencil. It's a close observation lesson, so we're going to draw what we see, or an interpretation of what we see. And although the pencil is round, you use 2 straight lines, and then you use some shading tricks and some curved lines to help you later. So I'm going to start with some nice big, long, straight lines, and I'm going to make my pencil look like it's a gigantic pencil, so I'm going to make it exaggerated. Then here I'm going to put the curvy lines where it was sharpened, and on the back I'm going to put the area where the eraser is. So first I'm going to start with a curvy line here, and then I'm going to put the eraser back here, And then where you see this part here, it's those curved lines that'll help, one of the tricks to helping it look like it goes around. So I'm going to put a few of the dots here. Again, even though this is close observation, it's just an interpretation, so whatever you see, draw. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is put I'm going to look at the tip of the pencil and put the pencil lid on, and there's a little shine to it, so I'm going to leave a little white spot at the tip. That gives it that look. Okay. Then the shadow it's a small shadow in this direction. You can see it more when I pick it up, but from here I can see where the tip goes up. And it just goes in. And then if you squint your eyes, you can always kind of see where it's dark and where it's light. And I notice that there's some areas that are gently shaded in on the pencil. So I'm going to put a couple of light lines here to start with. And then I'm just going to add a little shading to that to make it darker there. And once I'm done doing both of those lines on the pencil, I'll go back to my shadow. And even the shadow has some darker areas and some lighter areas. So you can use your shading grade to start nice and light, and then where you see it's darker, really go in there and darken it up. And remember to stay within the contained area of your lines. That'll always give it a nice smooth shadow look. You don't really want your lines sticking out everywhere of the shadow. And here's a finished pencil that's all shaded in. I hope you've had fun with the Wayne Thiebaud lessons, and please remember, send those drawings into me at craftbag@yahoo.com. I'll see you next time, and stay safe out there, everyone.